Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Yay! Hi, look who I have. I have Dr. Whimsy, and then I have Dr. Rodriguez.
Oh,
And
you're
Linda,
surrounded by doctors. Look.
I am. Makes my master's degree look a little pitiful.
No, masters is the fun bit, I think. I really love doing my masters.
Well, see,
They're great.
I get the education, but no responsibility. Hey, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Totally.
But Linda had to deal with something to do with her puppy dog, and she said that she was at the vet. She's paying. She should be about 10 minutes late, so she's on her way.
Sure.
Well, I know
And
exactly.
in the meantime, I'll try and work out how to get the comments because I got them last time. Oh, there we go. Look at all these wonderful people. Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Comments,
Oh,
because
I got turbine down. Oh, there we go. Now we're there. Oh, hi.
So you guys want to talk about hot topics while we wait for the beautiful Linda to show up?
Sure.
Yes. Well, let's get updates. How is Australia first? Let's do updates. How's Australia?
Well, Australia's cold. We're going into winter. But more stupidly, we've decided to antagonise China, our biggest trading partner. Never miss an opportunity to abuse China.
Apparently.
And it is so stupid. Who's buying all our commodities, the copper, the iron ore and everything? That'd be China. And we've got a mad Pentecostal Prime Minister who some of us refer to as Scotty from marketing because that's where he came from. And Scotty from marketing, who's also a Pentecostal, he wants to please America. Australian prime ministers do this, right? America doesn't know where we are. America wouldn't know if we went to Afghanistan or everywhere else, but we do it all the time. And so as a favour to the Yeti, Scotty from marketing decided to give China a hard time. So meanwhile, while the Yeti puts his feet up in Mar-a-Lago, where now there's talk of war in the Pacific. I don't think it'll come to that. But you know what? It's crazy. Not necessary.
I remember watching something about that. Like they were trying to think of they were going to start war. Is it really going to be war and stuff like that? So you're closer to the action. What exactly is going on?
Well, it's at the moment, it's what we in Australia call argy-bargy. That's chest beating. That's men sort of, having meetings, not listening to each other, both coming away saying, we won, and neither has any idea what the other's thinking, So we're handling it really badly. We're vulnerable. We're 26 million people, right, at the end of the day. So it's much better off that we're selling, wine and wool products and stuff to China than going to war with China.
Yes.
It's gobsmackingly stupid.
Well, you know what I've been watching is this one lady. She's on YouTube and she talks about her because she was a deflector from South Korea or North Korea, whichever the ones the terrorist is in. She was a deflector and she has a YouTube channel and she's been talking about the reason why I bring that up with China is because they try to get into China, they try to get out, to get out of North Korea and stuff like that. But they're afraid to even go into China because of how they treat the North Koreans.
Well,
and
yes.
yeah, so China is really starting to bump up their want to domominate. Is that something that everybody else is getting to? Because I keep on dreaming about
but I
China.
think there's I think two things going on. With the West, I think China wants to dominate economically. It just wants to get a foothold everywhere and has managed to do that very successfully. And that means if you sort of build a school in some obscure or tiny country, then you can get the vote from that country. So when you're getting your hands smacked from the world community over something bad that you're doing. You've got extra votes on your side and it gives them a foothold. Right? That's one thing. It's different in relation to Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong and other Asian countries where it's literally taking on this big brother status in terms of militarisation. It's not that likely to attack a Western country. However, we are in changing times and America is no longer a stable partner. NATO has been defanged, whereas the whole idea of the US plus NATO, the whole idea was to keep China in check. But thanks to Trump, NATO's been weakened. Thanks to Brexit, UK's been weakened. And we're just this little tiny posse of people sitting down here going, what does America want us to do? Because we'll do it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a dreadful, dreadful strategy. And it's not up to the moment. It's just not up to it. And, of course, no Anglo-Australians speak Chinese. We had one Prime Minister who spoke Cantonese, and it was such an extraordinary experience to see our Prime Minister go and have conversations in Cantonese and it changed everything. It changed the trade dynamics and everything because they were so astounded, you know, because by and large, America, you know, is very similar. The ambassadors in the old days used to have to speak French and Italian. You know, it's just behind the 8 ball, you know.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's very interesting. So when you're so close to the action and stuff like that, but we've had some. Have you heard about Liz Cheney? I'm sure you have already by now.
Oh yeah, and we all saw it coming.
Yes.
And what do you guys think about what will happen now?
Well, I mean, I think that the salvation of the Republican Party is green capitalism. Because green capitalism guarantees jobs in the new economy. And when you have $1.9 trillion to play with to rebuild a grid, you'd better get on board if you want any money for your constituents. There's only one place to go.
And that's also global whimsy. You know,
I'll be right back.
The first countries. Oh, we've lost you, Sheila.
She's got to take care of Linda, so it's cool.
Oh, okay.
You and I can handle this.
Yeah, absolutely. That it's only the countries now who realise that green capitalism isn't just a lefty fantasy. It's actually the essential step forward in innovation and growth. It's an economic argument now. It's not just pie in the sky stuff. It's absolutely essential, and that's where the future economic booms are going to be. And they don't get it. Yeah. They don't get it.
There are people. I just saw a TED talk, and I linked it to my comments section on my page because I had done remote views of the Appalachians. I don't know if you saw some.
I followed those. They are brilliant, guys. If you haven't seen them, track them down.
Oh,
the new economy in the South and the new economy in the forgotten states. It's fascinating.
So when I followed to northwest North Carolina, I wound up in an area that was like a valley, and then I didn't know where I was, but my friend who was helping me in the remote, she had the Google Maps. We were able to find the area, and it's that whole area starting in the Appalachians, basically. But I think that it's amazing. They're now starting to look into organic wines, and it's going to be like Napa Valley. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I think it's always about jobs. People want jobs. So if you can demonstrate that jobs are coming, I think you really go a long way to securing their vote. Yeah. You know, and in Australia, because we've been left with this mentality. Hi, Sheila, you're back.
Yes, I'm waiting for Linda to get on.
Okay.
I had to re-invite her.
That's all right. We're having technical issues this morning.
Yeah.
So in Australia, there's a huge push to open the biggest coal mine in the world. or at least in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, why would you be doing that now, right? Now, it will employ 600 miners at the end of the day, because everything's automatic now, automatic trucks, automatic everything. Towns don't make any money because they all fly in, fly out, and 600 jobs. All that, and all the tailings. Here comes Linda G.
Hi, you guys.
Good to see you.
I'm sorry to
How's your
interrupt.
dog?
Thank you for my dog had blood tests because there was something kidney function, so we'll know more tomorrow. But here's the good news. They both dropped 6 pounds apiece on their new diet.
Ooh.
Oh, that's impressive. Are they on the $1 million dog food?
No, it's not that expensive. It's a metabolic doctor's prescription. I'm going to start it tomorrow.
Wow. Wow.
Hopefully I'll drop 6 pounds.
Oh, mate.
I gotta put
Well,
meat
I'm pretty sure if you
I've
eat
been
that dog
saying
food, you
for
will.
years, you know, to everyone I know, look, if I get really sick, get a good vet. You know, I want a good vet.
So hello. Sorry, you guys. I'm late. Sorry.
No,
It's
no,
all right.
it's all right. We've only just got going.
Yeah, we'll
You
get
know,
you up. We're talking about Liz Cheney and the collapse of the GOP. Pretty much what you've been predicting for like 3-4 years now. So if you want to pipe in, that would be awesome.
Well, you know, I did a video today, and right away I felt that she was really going to do some stuff like vote on behalf of Biden instead of voting. She doesn't have to worry about voting.
They're going to be very sorry they did this.
Didn't we a couple of months ago come up with a conclusion that Liz Cheney was going to be the woman who took Trump down?
Oh, I don't know if I said it was Liz Cheney.
Who did we say back then? I thought it was Liz Cheney because she was starting that Liz Cheney was going to be the one. I was like, and I texted Whimsy last night in the middle of the night when I'm supposed to be sleeping, and I said, oh no, I think Liz Cheney is the woman who is going to take Trump because she threatened it right yesterday. I'll do everything in my power.
To make sure he's never in the Oval Office again.
And she's got a lot of it.
That and the fact that Robert Mueller was like spied at the Justice Department 4 months ago. He was working on the grand jury.
Wait. What happened? What happened 4 months ago?
That guy that is interviewed, the FBI guy that gets interviewed on Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
People in the Justice Department, there were rumors that came out through the Washington Post that they had seen Robert Mueller in the Justice Department 4 months ago when he had been meeting with people. Do you know what he was doing? He was doing the grand jury when they had for the judge that had to release the documents about, and he Mueller is now openly accusing Barr of lying 7 times. He's on record. So remember when Mueller in the remote said, if sooner or later you're going to be mine? It's real. It's happening. He's coming for him. It's awesome.
Oh my God. So he came in just when Biden became president?
Well, there was a rumor he was seen at the Justice Department, and then people asked me if it was true. And so I did a remote view of it. But here's the thing that's really crazy. And here's something I will share that I haven't had a chance yet to share with the audience. It looked like Robert Mueller and possibly, I know a lot of people don't like him, but also Rod Rosenstein were meeting secretly at Rosenstein's home, and the investigation continued at Rosenstein's home, and the Justice Department was not aware that the investigation had remained open and that they were still meeting. That's what it looked like.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
The guy on Rachel Maddow said that he was seen at the Justice Department 4 months ago, and then the judge wants to release the memo from Barr showing that he was working with the he was working with Trump's people. So then they raided Giuliani, and Giuliani was his lawyer. So it's looking pretty bad for.
Well, didn't I say? I'm sure you guys did the same thing. Mueller is not over with.
No.
Oh, no, very much not. No.
Well, not only us, but a lot of, if you go back probably about maybe even 6 months ago, a lot of the readers kept on saying the Mueller report's coming back. The Mueller report's coming back. And I also got the same thing you did, Linda. I was listening to you today and about Liz Cheney and how she's probably, when is her birthday? Does anybody know what sign she is?
Yeah, I think
Because
she's a Leo. Let me double check.
because she's got like this spite in her, right?
Oh yeah.
But you know, she's like, okay, I really like this idea. If there was like a tiebreaker, I'm going to be on
July
this side.
28th. She's a Leo.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
she's
Loyalty. Ooh, you do not want to bite the lion. Outie, outie.
no.
My daughter's a Leo. She'll mess you up.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Like-
have that Leo. So she now has been betrayed, and right? She is her party that she has been so loyal to and dedicated to and stood by there, and was hoping that her party would see the light and just start speaking the truth. Now they have betrayed her. She's almost like.
She's
You know,
like,
this is like the Lion King, where the lion is loyal and standing. And
I have a client that worked with her husband, and then my other friend, apparently his friend worked with the husband and said they are not very nice people. They're not very nice.
Oh no, let's not confuse the two. She was a hawk, you know. She would bomb anywhere into oblivion. She is her father's daughter.
Right.
But this is what happens. It's that old saying, isn't it, that your enemy's enemy becomes your friend or whatever it is, you know. It's like that.
I had a remote that, you know, the Republican Party was going over the crowd, and the crowd was beating it like a piñata and cutting it up and stuff like that. And they finally cut it down. And it brings me back to where I was thinking about her. It's like her focus is now turned on her own people. She knows the goods. She knows the secrets.
Yep.
She knows where to go. I mean, she really is probably the best thing that has ever happened to us is now going to be the worst thing that ever happened to the Republican Party, is them doing this.
And I like the fact that they say they're not good people, because Trump has met his match.
Yes.
Yes. And she's from the dynasty, as you guys say, you know, so she would have everyone on speed dial from birth. You know, that's just how these things
his dad
work.
has inside connections with the old people. The people.
Absolutely. And it's all filthy, but now it turns around and is very useful. And I reckon, what do you guys think? But I reckon she's aiming to be the spearhead. If there's a split in the party, she's going to be the head of the new Republicans.
Have the last laugh. I think she might run for president. I do not see her as president.
I felt the same thing, President. I felt the same thing that she
I think that's her
might interrupt it so much. There's no way that Trump can win, because she's right in the middle of it. Hey, listen, I got to tell you guys something else really quick. On Twitter, I have to tell you this. They showed two Twitters of two Republicans. One said, sha-na-na-na, sha-na-na-na. Goodbye.
Hey.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Liz Cheney.
It's
what a child. And another one said, neener. These are actual public officials.
I know.
What kind of child junk is that?
Well, it goes back to my theory that narcissism is trauma before the age of 5. So you're dealing with a 4-year-old. They're not past the first and second chakra, man. They're like,
well, they're going to start feeding on each other, and boy, I tell you what, this is going to be the best show ever. It's like the last. They save the last for best, or the best for last.
I didn't say hi to everybody. I didn't have it on the comments.
That's true.
Everyone. Sorry I'm late, you guys, but you know how it is with the puppies.
That precedent.
You know, they was hungies. I was like, and then I had to take bandages off their arms. The other one had a thyroid test. So you wait so long and then you take the bandage off.
Yeah, in the old days, you know, we used to chuck them a few chop bones over our shoulder at night, and now they have all these tests.
I know, and they almost cost as much as human tests.
Absolutely.
I agree. They're very expensive little critters.
Right.
All right, so let's get the show going. Does anybody have a topic to start reading on? I have an email that I'm going to look at. Somebody had something about Hang on a second. Of course, I have to get this ready at the ready. It says writing about the. Would you please look into the direct energy weapons? Does anybody know anything about this?
Is this like those
the microwave? I did a remote view on the microwave, and it looked like when I got into the remote, it looked like a black box that's about this size. And what you do is you can take it, say you put it in a hotel room, and you direct it to, say, the person that you want to attack. You leave the room, and then remote, you release it. And so what it looked like happened is that this weapon was in a parked car. It looked like in a residential area, from what I could figure out, behind the White House. And they did a test of it looked like about 7 minutes. They had just to see if it would be detected, and it was detected. That's what they got from the remote.
What they want to know is why they're doing it. Like, what's the what, why, and where. What could it be doing? Because what it says in here is called the Havana syndrome. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yes,
the Havana
yes.
syndrome.
That's because it was done in Cuba. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
To the American.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say they were probably trying to see if they could attack the people inside the White House using it. And so they parked the van behind to see if, it was a residential district, the way that they were able to direct it. And they wanted to see if there was any kind of a way that the military could detect it. And from what I could figure out, they did the test for about 7 minutes.
Will this happen?
Are we all right?
When did
Can
it happen?
everyone hear Linda? Because
Last month.
the microphone went off. Yeah.
There you go. When did it happen?
About last month, I believe, was when I did the remote. I also wanted to share that I did a remote last night of the pipeline. People had asked me to do that, and it looked like it was a hacking, and it looked like it may have been either North Korea or Ukrainian hackers, and it looked like it was in retaliation for threats by the United States against Putin's pipeline. That seemed to be what the hackers were telling me in the remote.
It's turned back on, by the way.
Sorry?
Did they get it turned back on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, they were able to turn it back on?
They
Good.
turned it back on today.
Okay. I know I was listening to that news when I was coming home earlier today about the pipeline and stuff. So what do you guys think? Where should we start? We got so many subjects, so much work to do.
So who's the male strippers? No.
Say what? Where are those male strippers? Dang.
I think the big question is Bill Gates. That is the number one question I've received today, yesterday, the day. People are freaking out.
Bill
Do you think I don't see Bill as a male stripper, but that's just me.
Lena, you had one job. You were supposed to get the strippers. Where are they?
Well, it's interesting. The remote view we did yesterday on Bill Gates, it looked like he had 2 books. And today so it looked like Melinda Gates hired, from what we could figure out from the remote yesterday, she hired a forensic person without her husband knowing, because there were discrepancies between the 2 books. And so today, when I went further into it, it looks like he was an extortion victim. So he was paying back the people that had the film footage on him, and he was doing what they wanted. And then somehow he was taking money from one area, and she caught it using forensics. That's what it was.
And that's where it goes back to Epstein.
Right. And then it looked.
That's why she's upset.
I looked at Bill Gates for quite a while ago. I see Epstein kissing his butt because he wanted to be next to him. He's very brilliant. He was a good person. I felt like Epstein introduced him to young women, but I feel like Bill Gates was uncomfortable. I also feel the wife allowed him to have a girlfriend to see every once in a while, but I'm not seeing anything untoward.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. There were no.
I don't think it's been business. I think he was personally compromised.
Epstein had to connect.
Hiding his finances would be even worse, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if he actually hid his finances. But it's hard for billionaires to. That's easy to do. I don't understand it. But I feel she wants to move forward. I think they just The kids are grown. I think he still sees it, and he feels immature. I think Violetta mentioned that. He feels like a child, not very good under them sheets. And, you know, just sort of flat. That's my opinion.
Very vanilla. Is he vanilla under the sheets?
He would be very vanilla.
No cherry on top. No, just vanilla.
And his name wasn't Epstein's book. His name wasn't Epstein's book, but people said, what's going on? And I looked and I never felt that Epstein had anything on him. Epstein had names of all kinds of famous people.
Well, also Epstein supplied, most of what Epstein supplied was adult women.
Oh,
you know? I mean, he said, I supplied adult women to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton liked women.
But no child.
Yeah, I mean, even though there's rumors that Trump has sexually abused some minors, same thing with him. When you go into the remote, he likes big breast. You know, Clinton likes divorced women. Just like that's the same thing I got from Andrew Cuomo. He likes divorced ladies with nice rack.
These guys are deep, aren't they? Really. Speaking of, where are those strippers? They're like, look at this.
Where are they?
I borrowed this top from one of my nieces the other day. I was at her place in cold, and I said, "Oh, can I wear?" And then I said, "Oh, look, it's got a hole in it." And she goes, "Auntie, that's for your thumbs." I'm so out of touch. I thought it just had holes.
Like there's something wrong.
Nina, who you calling the hole?
We have tanked.
I've got the outfit.
Do you want to do some blitzes or?
Yeah, let's do some blitzes before we tank even farther into the gutter.
I just want to say you gals look beautiful. You look.
Oh, so do you.
Thank you. You too.
I've been running like a chicken with my head cut off.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are really glowing today. I just really want to tell you.
Wow.
I was possessed by a demon for 40 years and I released him, you know, in front of people. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm like now have the afterglow. Not to be vulgar, but this afterglow is kind of like the orgasm the narcissist never gave me, you know.
If anybody hasn't seen the video that Whimsy did about her ex, that with chess.
Yes, he was the chess master, the sexiest man in the world. I won't deny that. Very hot. But yeah, he was. Yeah,
girl, I'm going to do my next about my third husband. Shoot.
Yeah, you know, I googled it. There's like all these women doing rants, like the narcissist rant, and I thought, God, I could do a couple of these.
Yeah,
really cathartic. It really helps.
Girls can relate.
Yes, get it all out. That's what I say.
Said Whimsy looks so good. Yeah, you guys are going. I'm telling you.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so what are we going to dig into?
What are we going to do? Does anybody have a topic? I've got lost.
Yeah, go for it. You've got
the future of Matt Gaetz was the other second most.
Okay, let's do that one.
Yeah,
the future of Matt Gaetz. Let's see what's going on.
I don't think he has a future.
The good news is I saw what do you call those things? Those wrist things where he's being arrested.
A subpoena or something.
Handcuffs.
Oh, handcuffs.
I saw handcuffs. We can't be joyful about it, you guys, as much as we want to.
Oh, I know. We should.
We're happy that evil has been, good has triumphed over evil. That's what we're selling.
I did a remote.
Mad at me if I get too happy about someone going down.
I know.
I know. We don't want it to come back.
Oh, Linda, can I please? Linda, can I go first? They're constructing a case. Look at this. Look at the evidence.
Oh, yes.
And this is going to make Linda, you can smile. It's okay. Dun, da, da, da. Our witness. And then here's the final outcome in handcuffs.
In handcuffs. I love it.
But what's interesting is you guys, the letter was released today from, I guess, a congressperson anonymously. Did you hear about it? Did you hear the letter?
Oh, what?
He said, I want to go on record saying that I was one of the men that attended these parties and engaged in group sex with these women, and Matt Gaetz and other Congress people were there. These were college women. Some of them had graduated from college. Some were still in college, and we would give them extra money. There was no way we could have known that girl was 17 because she was hanging out with the group. And evidently, and she is now cooperating with the investigation. She has sex with multiple people.
She's working in porn now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm telling you, this is beautiful. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, mine's quite short and to the point that if I can work out this camera, this is the Russian cards. Oops, there we go. The burden he's now carrying, he's never had to before, from hiding, hiding from the light. And now this is, I think, the other guy, Greenberg or whoever it is, who has to make up his mind in the next 24, 48 hours whether he's going to go all the way. And I hate the thing throwing under the bus. We need a new one, you know. So he's the one scratching his head, and Father Time is against Gaetz.
Okay.
I literally got the Four of Cups, which is that apathy, missed opportunity, meaning that, you know, Matt Gaetz had that missed opportunity to save himself. Like, he's missed opportunity to do that because the sun has been shined onto his bad deeds. And I got the Hangman.
Whoa.
So exactly,
Love
it's
it.
like I had that missed opportunity, like something he was supposed to be doing or something he could have. He missed the opportunity to save himself. Somewhere something has gone wrong, and he missed it.
Okay, well, I literally got Gerard Butler in the house, literally. My man is here.
There's our trooper.
He thinks, I always get my thing mixed up here.
I know, it's hard, isn't it? It's a reverse cam.
He thinks his money and his family and etc. He actually thinks he could dance right through this.
Yeah. He still believes it.
He thinks he's strong enough to beat this. Okay.
Yep.
Because he thinks he'll have Trump bad mouthing and talking crap. But Six of Swords, so his journey is going to be very difficult. Like, they're going to try for him, and then he's got the Knight of Swords. And that's jail, you know.
Yeah.
He opened his big mouth and he got too cocky, and now he's going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree. I did a remote earlier, probably about maybe a week or two ago, and in that remote, I saw him in like a big old bubble, like a big old bubble, and he's waving along and he's going along, and all of a sudden he stands up and he thinks he's good to go, and somebody walks up to him and just pops his bubble and says, "Gotcha." That was my remote to him. I'm like, yeah, he's arrogant. He thinks he's going to get away with it all.
Oh,
always has. Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to say, on the beat, Ari on the beat, when they were interviewing the person that released, they unveiled that letter from that anonymous witness. The woman that was being interviewed, she said that if Gaetz is found guilty, it's a minimum sentence of 10 years behind bar. He's in prison. He's going to prison for, she said, a minimum of 10 years. The problem, what got him in trouble was the trafficking, the slave aspect. That's what's really going to take him out.
You paid for an underage girl to go somewhere with you, and you crossed borders. Done deal.
Right?
Oh yeah, you
done deal.
Sheila. What do you think, Sheila? I mean,
Do what?
Yeah, could you talk about that? Because you're the expert on criminal law and stuff.
Oh, I'm not an expert, but that was 10 years ago. But yeah, well, it talks about, I don't know, I'm not into that kind of law, but I do know if you pay for a girl, underage especially, and you move her across the borders, that's called trafficking. Bottom line, it's done, it's over with. So if they can prove that he paid for her to for a plane ticket, to go on a vacation or whatever, that, and especially if she was underage at the time, done deal. That's called human trafficking for an underage child, especially.
And
And
may
she
I
says that
say,
you had sex.
years ago, I'll find the video, maybe a couple of years ago, people were saying, and what about Matt Gaetz? I saw him sobbing, crying with his hands in his face. And I told everybody, oh, he's going to be crying. Something major is going to happen to it. And we were just wishing. But he always acts so cocky, you know. And you watch, he's going to get hit hard.
I love the part where he was doing his little thingamajig. Sorry, Lena.
Lena,
Where he was, I know, I'm so sorry. Did I interrupt you again? Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead.
I just like to say the hypocrisy that is so spellbinding in all of this from the evangelicals who turn away from anything bad that, you know, Trump or the other Republicans do. But this is also another case, and I'm not defending Matt Gaetz. Please do not think that for a second. But he could well get 10 years for taking the 17-year-old over the lines. And yet in many states, there's no minimum age for marriage. All you need is your parents' consent. Right. And so if you're 13 and get pregnant, you have to marry your rapist. This is the same country. You know, so there's all these really hypocritical extremes, you know, going on.
Well, we would have to look at the law in Florida and wherever he took her. So if we have to look at the law, like here in Colorado, I think it's 16. The legal age is 16. So, you know, it doesn't matter the age of the man, but 16 is legal. But we would have to look at the laws of California or not California, but Florida and wherever he took her, which I don't really know exactly.
Yeah, that's my point. Which state did he take her to?
It was like he took her to like Cancun or something. And I don't know if it was Cancun, but he took her to something. I don't remember.
Well, if he took her out of the country, it'd be even more dramatic, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yes. My Jackie's like, preach it, Lena, preach it. So, what was I going to say about? I forget. Anyways, so. Who else do we have? I think Matt Gaetz.
Someone said
Gaetz,
here as young as 12 in some states.
People wanted to see if Liz Cheney was going to be running, and that's the other big question: is Liz Cheney's future? Is she going to be the president, or is she going to be the GOP candidate? For you guys want to throw on it?
Oh, I wanted to give a thought about that too. So let's look at all the Republicans who deflected against the Republicans and voted Democratic because they were tired of what was going on. So now we have all of those that are on that side that are also going to be on Liz Cheney's side. Well, she also has some loyal things. So we have the ones that deflected, and all of her people are going to also come over. What do the Republicans have left? They have, their base is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And why do they keep a hold of it so badly? Do these people really pay that much money for them to just sell their soul for this?
Apparently, yes.
Liz Cheney's run is to mess up Trump. She'll go in there in spite of whether she wins or loses. She'll go in there and fight the big fight and get lots of money behind her. To interrupt Trump.
Yeah, because their base is getting smaller.
Yeah, but it's also bizarre because he lost them, the presidency, the Congress, and everything else, and they're going, we're behind the guy who lost everything. You know, where do I sign? What is that? You know?
I don't know, but let's go ahead and read on Liz Cheney real quick and see what her future is with the Republicans, and then we'll read on that.
Someone else brought up a subject too I thought was really good was Jerusalem and the Palestinians. Let's take a look at that.
What was it? Jerusalem and
Palestine?
Oh, that's hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do Liz Cheney right now, and then we'll do the Republicans and see the reason why they're sticking with Trump, and then we'll do
the Israel-Palestine conflict. Okay.
Yeah, and Whimsy, keep that. Do you have your list going? Because
you want me to make a list for us? I have questions.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Liz Cheney.
Yes, Liz Cheney, because I'll lose it. You know, everybody should have a pet Gemini. I mean, I'm just a lot of fun, but I can't remember crap.
Oh.
Well, I've got that she's 10 of Pentacles. So she's sitting under the family tree and all the people.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of congratulations. I hear a lot of people saying F them, whatever, okay? And then I see, isn't it interesting? She always shows up as a Queen of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
She really loves her family. And she's connected. But I know what a lot of people interviewed in her state said that she was a traitor and they wouldn't vote for her. So she does have the 9 of Swords. So the outcome for her is still tough. There's still some tough stuff. She may run, and I think she gets one over on Trump, but I feel like she's going to have some tough interactions going.
Mm.
I agree. I'll go ahead and go. I agree with that because I have the 6 of Cups where she's giving gifts to other people, right? I also had the Tower coming, but it came in inverted. Like she's going to start the chaos. She's going to start the trouble, the Tower. I also have the 7 of Cups. She has lots of options. Lots of options out there, whatever she's doing. And then I also got the 10 of Cups. By the time it's all said and done, all the chaos and the upheaval and at the end, she's going to be happy. The 10 of Cups it's all going to work out to her benefit. It's just not going to work out to her benefit with her party as is. That's going to crash and burn. So that's probably where that angst and that 9 of Swords is coming from, is that she is stomping on whatever is left of the Republican Party currently right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wins?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because when I looked at the cards and then I found myself in a remote, I'm getting really good at the quick technique. Something called a quick technique, and it's basically what it looks like is that she is working with Biden to destroy Trump's Republican Party. And with the assistance of Biden and the Democratic Party, she will rise up and save the Republican Party. So that's the remote. So let me show you the cards. A partnership emerges, the 2 of Wands. An offer of healing is given to her. Hey, join our side. A wish is granted.
Yeah, I don't know that
King of Cups, which is Biden.
Biden, yes, my King of Cups too. Do you think by that you mean she might go to the NEMS or working with?
I think that she will work with Biden to get a lot of things through and to work in cooperation with him. Not always, but in some things like the new green economy. And he's going to help the Republicans save themselves because we have to have at least 2 parties. It's dangerous to only have one party. So trying to save and put the Republican Party on a healthy footing so that it can survive, it almost looks like Biden and her are working together in a partnership of healing in order to get their wish, which is they really want to have a healthy Republican Party.
And totally, I'll be quick because we all agree with this. It starts with the Tower, but I agree with Sheila. She knows fully well, what's going on. It has to crash from here in order to rebuild. This is the working behind the scenes, the High Priestess, and she'll emerge as the Empress. Not that I think she's the nicest person in the world, and under other circumstances, I wouldn't be sitting here going, oh, good luck, Liz, But here it is, and that's the fertility of ideas and prosperity and those things. She is the future of either, and this is another question really, the new Republican Party, or if they were smart, they'd fight for the name and make the others call themselves the Mar-a-Lago Party or whatever they want to call themselves, but not the Republicans. That would be interesting.
I agree. I agree. I think this is where the Republican Party diverges.
Absolutely. We've all been saying a version of it, and Linda, you've said it'll come back stronger down the track, but I think way down the track because the split will be exactly that. It has to play out over 8 years or 10 years or something.
I mean, 2 grown men sitting there on camera saying, that wasn't a riot. That was people gathering around, peace, love, dove.
They saw a completely different set of footage.
2 grown men.
So, Linda, if you don't mind me asking, what do you think is going to happen to the Republican Party? Will it survive? And if so, what's it going to turn
into? It will survive, and it'll be. You remember the Democrats were no good. They were slave owners and everything. It feels like that. There'll be a new beginning with the Republicans working their way back.
Do you think they'll go with the new Green Deal and try and get control of the business part?
Well, no, this Republicans, no. But down the road, see, they're in for quite a surprise. There are some red states that hold on to them, but they're going to lose so much. They really don't have a clue. They really think that we'll go in there and we'll cheat and we'll lie and we'll do all this. It's not going to work. My guides always say, don't worry, Linda, it's not going to work. So as these people get kicked out, and by the way, there's going to be a lot of warrants and arrests coming up too.
Oh yes.
Oops, where people are afraid and they're going to try to do the straight line instead of acting crooked.
Do you think that Mueller's indictments, the 5 indictments that he's rumored to have, do you think they're coming down?
Oh yes, I've always saw Mueller do it. People were like, "Oh, Mueller ended up being a nothing burger." I said, "No, trust me."
Speaking of nothing burger,
right away.
I got a T-shirt that.
I got to ask a question. I got to ask another question for people. Okay, I did a remote view on Mueller, and I got into his core. You connect heart to heart. And you asked the person, what do you want? What do you want? And he said, I want a full signed sealed confession in exchange for immunity. So my question, I want a full signed sealed confession in exchange for immunity. So in plainer words, he wanted Trump to flip as an FBI informant in a secret deal in exchange for immunity. So I was wondering if that has already happened, and that's why he hasn't been elected.
No, I don't think Trump is reliable enough for something like that, to be honest. I don't see. I think his ego is way too big to comprehend.
There's a lot more information coming in. Trump worked with Russia. He's a traitor.
Yeah.
I said
he's too corrupt.
I said everything that man touches is going to be reversed. It's almost like he never was president.
Yeah.
But they say that people in the FBI say that he has a file that Trump had in the past, has been an FBI informant in the past. That's probably what kept him out of jail with Epstein.
Well, he maybe what he did was literally say, "I'll give you this," and but I don't know. I don't consider him an informant. Yeah, I kind of think get me out of jail card more than an informant.
Was that the same thing? If they do it to get this thing?
Well, informant sounds so nice and cordial for the man. You know what I mean? I mean, he ratted on somebody to keep him out of trouble. That sounds a little bit more like Trump.
Okay, so I guess
Giuliani would have blabbed his mouth and say, "This guy has always worked for the FBI. He's this," or even Michael Cohen. But no, there was no FBI involved with Trump before he became president.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
But the FBI spoke to him during the investigation when Epstein was arrested the first time, didn't they? He was part of a list of people that got immunity.
He died. They left the lawyer room and they brought a young girl in a suit, very young girl in a suit. And Epstein Barr came to see him. Next thing you know, Epstein has this girl in the room by himself. So you know what was going on. Then he's dead the next day. Something with Barr is on that.
The thing with all the Epstein stuff is these are the most powerful men in the world, not just Americans, in the world. So that's why I don't see any of them actually.
Right.
This is the big boys club.
It's not. Yeah, I don't think it's like cooperation. It's a get out of jail free. But a few things before we go on to the next question. I want to thank everybody giving the chats in the chat, all of the donations that have come through. Thank you so much. I just wanted to get that out and tell them that I see it. I'm noticing. So thanks. And what was the next question that we had?
The question is about the conflicts between Israel and Palestine. And on a personal note, I'd like to see the future of Netanyahu because I think he's most of the problem.
Tell me, somebody's saying that I'm confusing the issue about Democrats being slave owners.
No, they need to learn. They need to learn how the Democrats were. Where the Democrats, the parties have switched. You can go on YouTube. They switched it. So the Democrats were the Republican current party, and then at some point in time, money came involved, and the Republicans switched, and the Democrats came up on top. And so yes, they were slave owners back in the day.
1800s. I'm talking about when
back in the day
they were Democrat, but then when they sent federal troops down, it was the Democrats in the 60s under a Democrat.
Right. And the first Grand Master for the KKK was a Democrat.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what a lot of people get really confused about our history is that you go on YouTube and literally Google get informed with the history. So yes, the Democratic Party was the Republican Party right now.
And Lincoln was a Republican.
Yeah.
Yes,
and so then
a viewer has just said Democrats introduced the Jim Crow laws. Yeah, they were not.
And then a Democrat sent so then it was switched.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's a little and where on YouTube you can go, it says how did the Republican Party become Trump, and it'll tell you exactly how that works as well. So it's a good thing to watch. All right, so we're going into Yahoo. What's exactly the question?
I think that was the Israel-Palestinian conflict because there's Katyusha rockets fired, and then the Israeli. It's every day it's the same thing. That's why I left. It's like it's just getting worse.
Okay, so let's read and see what's going on.
What's going on with that? Somebody said Netanyahu likes a war, so it keeps him in office.
Probably. I mean, he's terrible.
Yeah, let's see what's happening with Israel and Palestine.
Somebody said, "I wish they didn't switch because I like the elephant."
Do you guys want me to go first while you guys are doing it? Or?
Yeah.
What I just feel with leadership on both ends is ball of confusion. You got a 7 of Cups. Yeah. So I just feel like there's a lack of leadership on both sides, and Netanyahu is provocative, and so nothing can get off the ground. If you're constantly picking fights, you can't get a peace. You can't get anything up and going, and constantly being volatile. But 7 of Cups, people don't know where to go, and then hanged man, all these summits and peace. Like the summit that they were going to do this summer, that they did this so that they could cancel it.
Right.
This I'll tell you, that summit that was going to come this summer, I'll bet you 10-1, it's canceled.
Yep.
And then look, more fighting.
Yep.
A strong woman will emerge. Yehudit. So I think the peace conference that they were going to do this, I think it could potentially be hung up because the situation is not stable. And I think that things are not going to change until they have new leadership, strong female leadership coming up in the future. That's what I see.
Right.
Will I go?
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, lots of things happening simultaneously. I think this is justice and walking away. I think this is walking away from a just solution, which is bearing out what Whimsy's saying. People aren't coming to the table. And Netanyahu, that's because everyone's emotional, not rational in this discussion. And Netanyahu has always, he's just held on by a thread by making coalitions with the far right, which has made him worse than he naturally was. And so it's reached this point of hiatus. You've now got such a long-term entrenched hatred. I've said this before in relation to the Irish conflict. Get rid of separate schools. Send the children to school together if you want to resolve a long-term conflict. That may sound naive, but it actually, otherwise people grow up in their entrenched camps of hatred, fear and trauma, and it just gets reinforced. It's a very small place, and the very old Israelis I've talked to about this issue over the years, they want to see a solution. It's the young hotheads on both sides who don't.
Honestly,
The
a
old
lot of
people have
Americans.
said, yeah. And if you look at the most radical right Israelis on television, they've got Australian accents, South African accents, and American accents. They're from the diaspora. The Israeli-born are going, are you mad? We've got to make this work. We live side by side, but it's being stirred up.
Right.
Continually.
Right.
No.
I'll go ahead and go. And what I got was the everything is new and emotional. Like I got the Page of Cups. Like it's like in its infancy. It's like, just starting to really get there. And they're trying to negotiate, because I got the Knight of Cups. The negotiation is in infancy. I also have a strong woman involved, but they also exhaust all of their things. They exhaust all of their power. They exhaust all of their working on it. And I also got it's going to die. It's going to end of some sort. It's going to end, but not without a little trouble, not without a little tornado. So that's what I got out of the whole thing. What'd you get, Linda?
I see the world getting involved.
Good.
So I see people coming in and say, you guys, we got to do something to make this work. Because they'll actually come to an agreement. But it'll last for a little bit because it starts up again. There's a lot of hostile energy here, and it's very hard. And the thing is, when people are getting killed, it's hard to look at. So I just see them eventually down the road having a complete agreement, but I see the world coming in and saying, stop it now.
I believe we're going to have one nation. That's been my dream since I was 18. I think we're going to have a United States of Israel, Palestine. I've been calling for that since I was a kid. We're going to have a United States of Israel, Palestine. Everybody gets to vote. You don't like it, then you got to come vote and change it.
Probably won't be in my lifetime.
Because there's too much cray-cray. And but we will get there, because it's an idea that more and more people are starting to adopt. We have to have a federal, I'm Israeli, so I should say that, Israeli American. We have to have a federal law, a government, and a constitution that protects all citizens. And you can have the Palestinian state, you can have the Israeli state. The Israelis can go live in that state. You can come live in our state. Everybody has one vote. Because if we don't do that, we're never going to have peace.
Yeah.
Well, we're awakening now. My guys are very clear on that. And they even said disasters were going to come. And in fact, in June of 2019, June 17th, I was doing a reading on camera, and they came to me and they said, there's going to be a very nasty virus coming, and everybody's going to have to wear a mask. You know what that reminds me of? The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. Get off the street. So I remembered, I was like, okay, and I said it, but who knew how big that was going to be?
Right, exactly.
And now there's earth changes, because they told me, Linda, it's going to get big. So as we're trying to survive on this earth from natural course of Mother Nature, that's when we'll start working together.
All right. There's a couple questions we're getting. Did you want me to keep the questions, or you were going to do the questions?
No, I wanted you to keep the question, but I thought we had one more. What was the Republican? We wanted to find out why the Republicans are holding on so tight.
Yeah, we had that one, and then people wanted to know if Netanyahu was finally going to get kicked out. And then we also had Jared and Ivanka and a couple of other questions. I don't know. What do you want to do first? I'll do anything you want to do.
Republicans.
The Republican people? I think we're running out.
Yes. I want to know why they're holding on. I want to see if all four of us can get into the nitty gritty. Why are they just tightening their grip on Trump and that small base of theirs? Why are they just wanting to hold on to it?
I gotta say thank you to Susan Fortier. That is so gosh darn loving and generous. And
Wow.
play with the cards, and you also say hi to Sly Sonia. Thank you so much, Sly.
Thanks, guys.
I'm Miriam Nieto. Awesome.
Thank you.
Deb,
thank you
so much.
I keep on getting a shadow. Going into
there's
shadow,
also
everyone.
another question. When will the situation in India get better?
Okay, write that down. Yeah, write that down. Let's do it. Let's see what's going on. Why do they hold on so tight?
Why are they holding on so tight?
How long are we staying?
Whoever.
I don't mind staying extra, but I'm going to go run and pee.
Go tinkle. It's all right.
Okay. Well, you guys do
And
this
if I get a phone call, it's the lawyer, so I have to answer it. Otherwise, it'll cost me another $150 to ring him back.
No food, no water.
Oh.
But let's
What's going
just
on?
push on.
Okay.
So why are they holding?
Whoever's got their cards first, go for it.
Wow, I have the Tower. So he blew it up. He blew up what they thought they wanted. And he was talking behind the scenes. He was getting money from Russia. Russia had a lot of stuff on them. This is all secretive. He comes through as the emperor, because they were even saying we wouldn't have any problem with him being president forever. I
know. I just can't believe it. You can't believe you're talking to people who are part of a democracy.
He has the tongue of the serpent. Trump does. So he lured them in. It's almost like they drank the juice, if you know what I mean.
I've said that for a very long time, that he has that he has what is it called where you
hypnotize people.
About it. Yes, like a hypnotize. Yeah. I've always said.
Yeah, but it's part of what there's a reason all this happened, you guys, and it's shaking us to our core. And as much as we like to point at him and call him the demon like they did with Hitler, this too shall pass, and there's a reason that all this happened. He brought out the rats. He brought the rats out.
Yeah, I did a video about 3 years ago basically saying, was Trump a blessing in disguise? And people thought, oh my God, what was that? But that's it. It had to be this dramatic for people to wake up and fight for the basic values.
Exactly.
But what I got here, this is the Russian deck. He's got them under lock and key now. They're literally, in his hands. This is an interesting card in the Russian deck. It's the street sweeper who's wearing the king's glasses, is the meaning of it. In other words, they only see through his eyes. They've stopped even thinking at all, and they totally see the world through Trump's eyes. They're doing what they're told, but they are leaking around the edges. But in answer to the question, I think this is the main thing. This deck is called the 12 Chairs deck. The whole deck's about looking for the jewels in the chairs. They're after the money and their personal lifestyles. They've forgotten what public service is. No one's asked them about it. It's only about me, and this is a scrabbling to find the personal wealth and the jewels in the chair.
Right.
This is very lowbrow stuff here. This isn't ideological difference. This is just, but them working, sorry, Sheila, but just to finish that point, okay. If they go on working only for themselves like this, the nation will crumble. Because there's no one at the helm should they get in again, So it's so important for Americans to stand up, be counted, and support Biden and move forward. This is the moment in history.
Right. And what's interesting, Trump had done his little announcement and said he was so happy Cheney was gone. And maybe now she can be on CNN, work for CNN or MSNBC. he's that kind of dense. He doesn't realize
Yeah.
she's still a congressperson, and she's not gonna. She can't work for CNN and see. Do you see what I'm saying? He's dense.
Yeah,
It's
he is.
all about him. It's all
They
about
don't
how
actually get the job. Yeah.
Right. And you know, Hitler was the same way. Hitler was obsessed with what other people were saying about him.
Yes. Yes.
Obsessed.
Obsessed. Sheila, what did you get?
I actually got the he created the chaos, he created the tornado, he created the upheaval. I also got the Page of Swords, which was really confusing at first, but then I got, for some reason, he dreams of being a dictator, and he knew that if he did everything he could be in charge. He dreams of the job of Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is, from North Korea. He dreams of being that person. He dreams of being in charge, like Putin. So he has he has that spell over them, because here's the cauldron. He has that spell over them. He has given them that poison. I mean, these people that he has poisoned their minds, it's almost like they're too far gone. There's no coming back sometimes. They can't hear truth. They can't see the reality anymore. It is truly somebody who has been sitting there and being poisoned for a very, very long time. And there's no coming back from that, because he has hit his target with most of those people. And he throws his thing, he hits his target every time. Every time he says something or does something, they hear that poison and they pipe up, and he's hitting his target. So this guy here, I've always thought to myself about this whole thing is, what if he is crazy sounding? Like, is he reincarnated as a dictator from the past? We may or may not have known who he was. He may not have been a famous one, but he has every playbook, everything in his DNA, everything that he says and he does. He knew exactly what to do.
And
you know
here's the crunch, though. The only reason I think America's still having an election at all, because of his narcissism, he only employed people who were nice to him. Had he been efficient and employed efficient people, God help America. It'd all be over as we're sitting here. It would be over now. But fortunately, he doesn't. And he doesn't know how to do that. And so that's what saved America to date, really, I think.
And I have always said that his people, he's manipulating his own people more than he manipulates us. The ones that walk away and don't tolerate it. Yeah. Anybody that is in his vicinity, he manipulates them.
Yeah, and they him too, in the very close.
Oh, yes.
They just say what he wants to hear. Yeah. So
parasite relationships.
Oh, I feel like you guys have already said it, so I don't know if I can add anything. His followers are in the clouds, 7 of Cups. They don't know. They're just like, it's almost like a cult. This feels to me like a cult energy. They're completely in the clouds and la 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 la. He is our guru. He is our guru. He is our guru. And it's like, here is our golden altar to him, and we're in the clouds, and la 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 la.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the more you give them reality, it's like a deprogramming of someone in a cult. The more they carry the load. No, we're gonna.
They don't want to know.
Harder. We're gonna work even harder. What breaks?
They double down.
What do you think breaks? Linda's gonna love this. What do you think breaks them?
Breaks the spell.
Sure, the hell isn't truth. What breaks them?
The green economy.
Money.
Harvesting a coin from the earth. This is the card of the Green New Deal, the green economy. It's making money from Gaia's earth. Like, you care for her, she cares for you. It breaks them. So I always do that when I go forward with the GOP, and I think that was the question. So the fact that the green new economy was the outcome in a blitz, that's kind of, I always see stuff like that for the.
And the other thing is that Biden's numbers are high.
Yeah, I love it.
Even with Republicans, evidently, older senior Republicans who seem okay to us. I mean,
yep. They're being poisoned for sure. And I don't think there's any way of them coming back. I really think that especially the people the GOP that follow him, they're just too far gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what was the next question we got? What we got next?
People had noticed that Jared and Ivanka were very, very low key. They will obviously. If I were them, I would be scared, and I would be contemplating leaving the United States. They did buy some island or something. Do we want to do a little remote, a little blitz, see what's going on with them?
Well,
Let's do a little blitz.
Just a couple of days ago, so I'll chime in. Well, maybe they've got something new. I don't think so.
My cards just literally came up with what you have. The Three of Wands. They're trying to conjure up something. You see her. She's in there trying to conjure up something from nothing, trying to get out of things. I also got the Four of Cups. That here's an option, but they're so down and out that they had to go underground. The Hermit. They just can't handle it. They just cannot handle what's going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Go for it.
I have the Hierophant, which is to me like they're waiting and to see what's coming out. They're nervous and they're just waiting. Tick tock. And then I've got the Four of Cups, which some disappointments. I even feel somebody rat thinking on them, so to speak. I see some stuff coming up that we're going, really? Because Jared's going to be in huge trouble. And then look at this. They have the Nine of Swords. You know, the Ten of Swords is situations that happen outside yourself and it couldn't be helped. Sometimes it's not karmic. It's just accidents and stuff. The Nine of Swords is what you did to yourself. You did this to yourself. So the payment comes due.
Let me see.
Wow, I'm just blown away by those cards. But the Emperor is coming, so sanity reigns, logic, the prefrontal cortex, and then Star. So I feel like we're entering into a time that's just very logical in terms of, you know what I always feel when I go into Ivanka's energy, she's trying to get pregnant. I always get that.
I get it too, and I don't know why.
And well, because
she wants to stay out of jail.
Well, maybe, but she's also running out of time. I think she's like 39, 40. So it's like that last pregnancy you try to have. Trying like the Four of Wands is like the new marriage. But I always feel that with her. But here's the other thing that's kind of cool with her, and this is something I do like. There is the person most likely voted most likely to change in this whole sick family dynamic. Believe it or not, I know you don't like her, is Ivanka Trump. Because the one thing about her is she's so defensive that she will go back and check the books. And the final outcome is the High Priestess. The truth is going to come out. But I would also say I'll keep watching Ivanka Trump because I have a very strong feeling she's the person that would enroll herself in college and quietly take environmental studies courses just so that she doesn't look like a fool the next time she speaks.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I haven't pulled cards now because I did the reading only yesterday or something, and it's still clear in my mind. So basically, I think Don Jr. is going to go to rehab very soon, one way and another, and it'll also help him with his court cases and stuff, but he needs it. Ivanka's going to take off to Tel Aviv or Geneva or somewhere, and Eric's going to be going, oh, how come I'm the only one here having to turn up at court? That's basically how I got it. What about you, Sheila?
Oh, I already went. I already did.
Oh, okay. The other thing, what about Ivanka's patents? In China, she took out patents for voting machines, and I didn't know till yesterday, caskets. Yeah, coffins. Yeah. How weird is that combination? What?
Why would she do that?
been brought up too. Ivanka's patents in China were in MAGA world, you know, like. Oh.
I just got is she? Does this mean that she's invested in caskets?
Yeah.
Is that what this means?
This was before COVID and everything. This was 3 years ago or something.
Okay, that is weird.
It's weird.
All right. So, do we have another question, or do we want to read on that?
Well, sorry,
I have to go.
Oh,
okay.
I can't hold up that long sitting in the chair.
can we do one more question?
Sure, we'll do one more.
Yeah, we'll do one more question and then we'll go. Yeah,
Okay,
we've been on for over an hour, so.
The last question is about the pandemic in India, and will they get relief, or will the new mutations go out of control?
Okay, let's do that, and then we'll shut her down. Thanks, guys. until next month. And I need you guys stay on for just a minute so we can do the
Sandra
next one.
Henderson has said, "Are the caskets full of money?"
Doubt it. Oh gosh, that's funny. Okay.
Oh, poor Indians.
Okay, let's check this out.
Well, I don't know, but it does look like they're not going to be fed any truth either. It looks like delusions and stuff like that. They're not going to be fed any truth either. And the Seven of Wands, he's going to be defending his territory. You see how he's defending? He's out over there. He's defending the territory, or the people are going to start defending their territory with the COVID or something like that. But it just seems like they're not going to be told the truth. They're going to still be defending, and they're still going to be fighting it for quite some time. I didn't see an end in sight right now. So that's what I got.
2 months more of working on this. 2 months of working on this. And they're able, the world seems to help them. Like they're able, the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Someone, it's a female, is going to help them. You know, it's interesting that, did you see on Rachel Maddow that it was a Black scientist, a Black woman that developed the vaccine?
Oh, and more than that, because there's been lots of teams, you know, working on them, and a lot of them are first-generation migrants who are superstar scientists as well. You know.
I got the strength card, so I would say I got 2 and I got 8. So I would say by August they should be doing better. But what a ride! Oh, so many people died.
I hope so.
All right, who's next?
I always see the same thing. I see the business world and leadership. I mean, I always see it's almost like Branson and other people volunteering their planes, etc., to get shipments. It's like the business world coming in, leadership coming in. 10 of Cups is coming, which is a very good sign. The happy family, strong leadership coming in. The King of Wands, hanging up, which is associated with the Six of Swords, which is going from rough waters to smoother waters. So it almost feels to me like leadership is coming in and helping. It's actually a positive outcome with the Six of Swords, but it was dicey. One aspect of the Six of Swords is that you've really got to maneuver those waters. You know?
Will I jump in?
Yeah.
Yep, go for it, hon.
I got the world first up, and it needs the world, you know, it's everyone's problem and we've got to do it. It's not going to magically disappear very quickly, but the world is very concerned and acting on it, and the finest minds, which is what you were saying, Linda, are working on this. But young people represented here, their Prime Minister has got away with a lot. And I think young people are seeing it with different eyes. And I think because of this horror, young people will be more engaged, and there'll be a new leader on the other side of Modi. And that's when things will really improve for India and ultimately the sun. So, yeah.
Cool.
Gotcha. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of the chats.
Everyone.
You
All
guys
right,
rock.
everybody smile.
Tararena Vivary. Are you Pacific Islander by any chance with that name? Okay. See you now. Take
Bye,
care.
All right, guys. Hang on for just a second, guys.
Yeah.
So give their best smile because this is what lasts. Yay.